you please be seated? And I promise I will not mess up the Texas pledge next time. You would think I do enough of these that I would remember that. Sometimes I get a little stage fright. Some of you probably know that. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you, it's my honor to be here. It's my honor to announce some of the speakers coming up. Before I announce our first speaker, I've got to tell you, we've had a major shift in our school district. 3 new head football coaches, 3 new high school principals, 60% of the superintendent's cabinet retired. But I'll tell you what, with change, sometimes change is good. It's so exciting to be part of this community, with the economic development that's going on with the Chamber of Commerce. It's so exciting to be part of this community with all the changes that have gone on in the school district. I also want to mention that I want to apologize for our president, Charlie Dromgoole. He can't be here today. He is at a national conference or state conference for Chamber of Commerce executives. So getting some training there, and he'll be back next week ready to rock and roll. So we do have Trish here. Stephanie was outside. Most of you saw her when you came in. So as you know, that these BizComs are a joint partnership between the Humble School District and the Lake Houston Chamber of Commerce. It's a way to get information, relevant information to the communities that each of the high schools serve. So it's a great pleasure. I mean, great pleasure. I mean, the more you're around this guy, the more you're going to say, wow, a lot of exciting things are happening in the community of Atascocita and Atascocita High School. Straight from Beaumont, Westbrook. All right, I want to introduce the new principal of Atascocita High School, Mr. Bill Daniels.
Thank you. A little bit about me. A month ago, I had no idea I was going to be in Atascocita. We were looking, and I'd been in Westbrook for 6 years. Westbrook is a 5A school, just like Atascocita. And Humble had the great foresight to come and take our head coach, Craig Stone. And of course, Craig later called me and said they need a principal. And I called, I knew the assistant soup, and he called me back, I'm in the deputy soup, and I said, it's a package deal, me and my wife. Because it is. And she is also an administrator, and she said, let's do it. And we are more than excited. And let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, I ride for the brand. The day I left Westbrook, I stopped being a Bruin, came here, I started being an Eagle. And I'm very passionate about schools because I liked school. And I liked school not because of anything other than the relationships I had, the organizations I was in, the things we did in school. And invariably, when I asked people, did you like school? They say, yeah, I like school because we went to games, we went to pep rallies, we went to these things. I've never found somebody say, man, I love those standardized tests. I just love them. So that is not me at all. You have to take those tests because the state of Texas says you take them and they give you a label based on that. We are not going to let that label define us. We define ourselves based on 4 criteria. These are the criteria we're bringing. First criteria is academics. And academics, and testing is part of academics, but academics is not part of testing. There's other things besides that. There's SAT, there's getting them ready for school. And other schools, the other thing, athletics. Because athletics saves some students. It gives them and keeps them in school. Another thing is fine arts. Fine arts, once again, is something else that people remember about school. But the last thing that ties all these things together is having them involved. And having them involved means we are going to do whatever club we have to do to get these kids involved. Because I'm going to tell you that these children, all students, will find a support network. And if you don't provide a positive one in the community, they will find a negative one in the community. And I know that for a fact. Now, does that mean that I'm going to go to every club meeting? But if I have 10 kids come up here and say, we want to start a Dumbledore's Army, that's fine. We'll start that. If you want to have a ping pong club, we'll have a ping pong club. If you want to have a hacky sack club, because we've had those, hacky sack club. chess club, cycle club, every club we can have, video gaming club, because part of the thing we need to teach these children, and all people, is you need to learn to belong to something. People that do not belong to something have a hard time existing outside of their one little household. Typically, if you look at people that are doing things that they should not do, it's because they do not belong to something positive. With that in mind, understand that I am very much a structure person. There are policies and there are procedures that are going into effect. My son-in-law right now is in Afghanistan. He's a military guy. My father was a military man. He didn't spend his whole life in the military, but there's right ways to do things and wrong ways to do things, and we are going to have the policies and procedures in effect because that is the structure on which schools are built. Questions? Basically, this school is about kids. We are not going to allow the wants of adults to override the needs of children on this campus. Not going to happen. We believe that every single child deserves the best teacher we can find for them, regardless of who they know. Okay. If you want to get hold of me at any time, if you will email me, I'll answer emails. It might be 12 o'clock tonight. I'm a little more energetic today. We have been commuting an hour and a half one way. We're getting up at 4:15, getting on the road, getting here till 7 at 7. This morning, we moved into a house yesterday. When I say moved in, we have a blow-up bed and something to cook with. And this morning, when we got up at 5 instead of 4:15, we realized we were really early. We had a lot of time on our hands, but it's been but we are both more excited than you know. I have brought one of my APs from Beaumont here. He's very excited. And I've got 3 or 4 other ones who are saying, please, please, let us go with you, please. So, and one of the teachers here already knew. She was a former Westbrook. We are looking forward to great things. If you have anything for me, please email me. william.daniels@k12.tx.us. And if you see us out in the community, about once a month, I like to take a round table of about 12 to 14 students, various different students, not always the great ones, not always the bad ones, but a cross-section of students, and we go off campus. I and another staff member, whoever it is, and we talk about the campus. I want to know what they think and what they say there stays there. And they will tell me what's good about the campus, what isn't, and what needs to be changed. And a lot of times, we will try to do that. If you would like to come to a pep rally, we're going to have pep rallies. We're going to probably do some things for homecoming at night. We may have a little carnival or something, or a kickball tournament or something, because we do that every year, a dress-up day. But anytime you have a question for me, please email me. I'll get back with you just as quick as I can. I get about 200 a day, but I usually get done in 24 hours. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I think now you can see why we're so excited. And I tell you, some of the changes at the other high schools, the excitement's there also. I did hear a rumor, though, about karaoke Fridays in the cafeteria.
We did, now Westbrook is a school, 24 to 2,600. We did karaoke and music on Fridays in the cafeteria, yes we did. Some of the kids were great singers, and some of the kids I would have paid them to not sing. But the key with that was everybody that wanted to got to, and everybody clapped for them. Everybody there, and Westbrook is a more diverse school than Atascocita, believe it or not. The largest subgroup at Westbrook is 38%. And we had everything from the richest of the rich, who lived in million-dollar homes, to kids who were homeless. And our greatest pride was that all of those kids got along and accepted everybody. The child whose dad was the U.S. attorney in Beaumont sat with the child who was homeless or at Buckner's, and they got along great. They were both in studio together. And the little kid that everybody knew him, and he sang on every Friday, he sang, and he was not good. But everybody stood up and clapped for him. And when he leaves school, when he has kids, and he will tell them, when I was in school, I sang in front of 800 kids and they clapped for me. And so I saw him every day there. He said, I'm going to sing on Friday. I said, you go ahead.
All right, well, that's wonderful.